Hello. Something strange has happened with my courgettes this year. We're moving into autumn here now at Homegrown Veg in the United Kingdom, and by now I should have harvested lots of courgettes. I had planted 3 of them in small water buckets. But something strange has happened this year. It's a mystery. So what's happened this year? Well, I started 3 plants off in buckets, and initially they looked reasonably healthy. They looked well. They were producing nice green leaves, and flowers were starting to be produced. And those flowers started to open, and lo and behold, we started to get some courgettes being produced on all the plants. And all the flowers were female flowers, so every flower produced a courgette. Nothing strange about that, particularly if this was an all-female plant. But then things started to go wrong, things started to go awry. The tips of the courgettes started to go soft and turn yellow. I thought I've got a problem here, because it was happening to all the courgettes on all the plants. I need to have a look around other gardens on YouTube to see who's growing courgettes, see who's growing zucchini, and see if there's any indication as to what this might be, and if there's a way of arresting it or preventing it. So I looked around and I came across one video, and a guy had the same issue as me. He had 1 or 2 zucchini that had the yellow tip on the end. And what he said was that the fruit had set before it had been fertilised. The flower hadn't been fertilised, and the fruit had set, and that fruit would never make anything. And on reflection, thinking about my courgettes, every single flower a female, no male flowers. They can't have been pollinated, can they? Do they need to be pollinated? Was it an all-female variety? I don't know. But I do know that all the courgettes looked as though they weren't going to make it. They were going to go soft. So what's to be done? I decided to take them off. They're only small. I couldn't use them for anything. But they were just going to get bigger and softer and bigger and softer. And I still wouldn't be able to use them. So I thought, take them off and see if you can get a second flush. Okay. Well, here's the mystery. So I took them off and more flowers appeared. Hey, we're up and running again. We might get some more courgettes growing. But all those flowers were male. There was no courgette behind them. They were all male flowers. So the girls had been to the dance and gone home, and the males had just arrived. They'd missed one another. Oh, blimey. So I let the plants grow on, but there were no more females, just the males. And then those flowers dropped, and the plants withered away, and I got nothing, absolutely nothing. So I was really disappointed. 3 buckets, 3 plants, nothing. So we move on through spring, through summer and into autumn, and that's all behind us now. And so I'm now concentrating on getting my greenhouse sorted out, and tomatoes have ripened and I've harvested those, and cucumbers have ripened and I've harvested those, and I've started to tidy the greenhouse out. And what I spotted was a solitary courgette, a small plant, just in a 3-inch pot that was going nowhere. It must have been a spare. I thought, why don't I move that up into a bucket or a bag? Why don't I do that? Take it in the greenhouse, see if we can do any better with that. Now bear in mind, we're moving into mid-autumn now, so there ain't a great deal of light. and there's not much sunshine about, there's not much warmth, but the plant's in the greenhouse. Hey, let's go outdoors now and have a look at that plant. Let's go and check it out, come on. So this is my courgette. It's at the Last Chance Saloon now, and this is the pot it was growing in about a month ago, and I simply moved it up into this bag and brought it into the greenhouse, and it's shot on, it's come on leaps and bounds. Now this is a male flower. If you're not familiar with courgettes, just a single stem, a thin stem with a flower on the end. It's a male flower. This is a female flower. It hasn't opened yet. I know it's a female because it's got a courgette behind it. So we're looking for this male flower to pollinate this female flower, by the sound of things. And if I look around the plant, we've got another male here popping up. We've got a female here. We've got a female here, a female here, and a female here. So we've got a mix. The boys and girls have turned up at the same time. We've got males and females. So we'll have to see how they go. Now one problem I know I'll probably have is that as we've moved into autumn, there aren't as many insects about. Flying insects, certainly no bees. So these are going to need to be pollinated by hand. I'm going to have to watch a couple of videos on YouTube, see how people do it, and do it. And let's see if we can get some courgettes over the finish line this year here at Homegrown Veg. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed the video. This has given me something to work on now through the colder months. I haven't a great deal of faith in this because of where we are in the growing year. But hey, who knows? We'll give it a chance. As I've said, it's at the Last Chance Saloon. Hello, this is my first courgette update. Yeah, it's 2 weeks since I posted the first part of this video. So we've had 2 weeks more growing in this particular plant in the greenhouse. I'm just going to point out to you some of the courgettes that are growing on here, the zucchini. I hope you can see them. There's one here, there's one here, there's one behind this flower, that's 3, there's one here, that's 4, there's one here, that's 5, and there's one down here, that's 6. So we've got 6 zucchini growing on this plant, 6 courgettes. And there's something that's just occurred to me since I started with this video, is that this bag, the soil in this bag and this bag have already produced potatoes this year. Yes, they have. I turned that bag out and I produced potatoes from that soil, and now I'm growing courgettes in the same bag, in the same soil, in the same growing year. Hey, come on, that's a win-win, isn't it? Well, it's a win-win if we harvest some of these courgettes. Would you agree? 2 crops, same bag, same soil, same year. Hey, let's have another look at this a couple of more weeks down the line. Well, this is something that's totally unplanned and totally unexpected. I didn't expect this. But if I can pull it off, then maybe we should plan for this next year. Maybe we should plan to start some courgettes off later in the year, on the understanding that as soon as the tomatoes and cucumbers come out of the greenhouse, we move the courgettes in, and we can extend that growing season perhaps for courgettes, and we can get 2 different vegetables growing in the same soil, in the same bag, in the same year. We're going to give this a go. If I can pull this off, if I get some decent courgettes off that plant, zucchinis, I'm going to plan to do this next year. Yes, I am. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed the video. This is Homegrown Veg, signing out.